perfect. I just woke up and need to distract myself from suicide. I'm doing alright on the subjective level, as usual. Uh, you're not doing alright by the looks of it, or sounds of it, I mean. You wanna talk about it, G-Dizzle? To be fair, I also feel like wanting to exit many days, so it's not like any different. Nah, distraction. I gotcha. I'm just a big playing Fortnite right now. I got my first kill. I've not got a single W today, but no need for dub. What's fun is the dunking on people. What's fun is knowing you ruined someone's day. But I also have the shittiest internet ever. I'm just lagging like literally everywhere right now. Oh, I just almost lit a dude on fire. I might have. Just a bit. There we go. That person's down. That is what's fun, isn't it? I haven't watched any Ara yet, but I haven't forgotten. I just scared for my health low. Aniara, the flower Aniara. Aniara, yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched Aniara yet. Aniara is quite good. Unfortunately, it is a little bit depressing. I mean, there's infanticide in that film. There's a bunch of shit. I mean, it's about the like Earth, but like on a microcosm scale. And like the only rational person is basically just like shunned Well, the only two people that are rational are like frowned upon for their choices that are rational. So yeah, it's pretty great film. I love Anya. But at the same time, yeah, it's not exactly the film to watch if you're feeling depressed, I suppose. Though there is some lesbian action, so if you're into that, I mean, okay, it's pretty fun. My into lesbian action depends on the day. Fair enough, fair enough. But when it comes down to it, a hot Middle Eastern and a hot Swiss lady making out, basically, and other stuff. That's all you need to know. And there's like an orgy scene and stuff. It's pretty wild in film, not gonna lie. But overall, it's about microcosm of Earth and all that good stuff. And oh boy, it's just a good film. Oh boy, Rootin' Tune. Uh, I'll take my antipsychotics after this match phone. I don't feel like it right now. Trying to get this dub. That wonderful saleswoman texted you? No, no, she hasn't. She hasn't. She also works during the week, so I mean, who knows? She's pretty busy. That's just me trying to rationalize. So no, she definitely. Oh, I'm dying. She definitely just was like, "Yo, let me get that ego boost, and hopefully you have you buy this product." But at the same time, you never know. Should just hit her up at 11 o'clock at night. I'm kidding. See, a lot of women want the guy to go after them. You go on dates, Apple dude, like ever. You get laid more often than I do. And you know why there's no such thing as being too forward. I mean there is, but there's not when it comes to just trying to fuck. You know what I mean? I mean, what do you think, Apple guy? Do you think if you're just trying to fuck for the most part, you're not trying to get into a relationship, is there being too forward, just being like, yo, Joy, what's boppin', B? No, I'm not gonna say B because it's a little sounds mean. What's boppin'? I'm not gonna say bompin' either because that's just not sexy, I guess. What would you say if you were trying to engage in the coitus with a femoid? Just kidding. That's the fucking dumbest way I could say that. But it's also like accurate. How would you engage in the last thing I did was say goodnight, and I don't think I've ever gone on a date, and I'm only done sexual things as a wee lad. Pretty pathetic, but profile people's measures. Understandable, my dude. Uh, Fair enough. You know what? I'll just be forward, I guess. Can't lose. Most people can be won over if you're attractive enough and have charisma, for what I observe. Yo, man, you have to be the one to make that assessment. I'm a narcissist, so I'm gonna automatically assume that I have charisma. But in reality, I have probably very average levels of being liked. You can't tell if you have average charisma or gigachad charisma. Well, I assume I just have average charisma or slightly above average charisma. But if you think I have Giga Chad charisma, then please let me know. I mean, I would love to have my ego boosted just a little bit more. But seeing as how I clearly haven't gotten laid in a long time, I don't have Giga Chad. I may have Sigma Chad, energy, but like the introverted, like I don't need no one. That type of Chad energy, but like that type of Chad energy still comes with like waves of loneliness. So it's kind of like, oof. Plus, you're not getting laid if you're a Sigma who's just like truly being the Sig of them. I don't know what the Sig of Sigma stands for, but like or the honestly, I have no clue what Sigma stands for, or like what the you break down the part words into like their original meanings, what it would translate like. Warrior of loneliness or something. I don't fucking know. That's what I'd have to guess. That'd be like the dope Native American name of Sigma Chad. Warrior of loneliness is crazy. I'm not sure if it's crazy, but that's definitely what I'm pretty sure Sigma Chad translates to in like Latin, if I imagine. It's not actually what it translates to, but honestly, if it's what it translates to, I'd be really, wouldn't be surprised. So that's what I'm gonna pretend it means from now on. Well, I'm in an Apex Legends match right now with a random guy with the name Twerk Compilation. Twerk Compilation, bring us to victory. Can't lose if your butt's moving. If your butt's moving and you're grooving, victory's assured. It's in your nature. Wow. Oh my god, at this rate I'm fucked. Okay. There's literally nothing here. Oh, and I'm scanned. Woo! I'm dead. I'm so shitty Apex Legends. To be fair, going from a third-person game to a first-person game kind of is a good way to dick yourself down hard, and I'm not surprised. So, either way, I'm a lot shittier at that than Fortnite. Fortnite also has like the gayest level aim assist ever. Not that it's like a problem. I'm just saying it's like very supportive of you. Just like gay people are very supportive of their homies, of their fam. There's different types of charisma. Do you talk to women the same way you talk to me? Yeah, basically, I'm just like big chill. Like I'm just like talking like a dude, bro. Uh, like a dude, bro, who if they flirt with me gets a little flirty back, basically. But if not, I'm just talking to them like a dude, bro. Like yeah, like a little weirdo, but like still like weirdo with like some chat energy, in the chat in the sense of like like I'm weird but I'm like confident in my weirdness. I'm not like oh like shifty and weird. I'm like look at me, I'm fucking cracked out. Just kidding. I'm not actually on crack. Or am I? You won't know. Maybe I am on crack. I'm not. I'm not. If you want to see an F listing who was on crack, subscribe to Reading McLeod. Now he's clean at the moment, real G, proud of my homie. You know, for every as equivalent exchange goes, though, for every crackhead free of addiction, there's another crackhead go and replace them. It's the way of the crack cycle. It's like the water cycle, but with with crystal meth. King Bay, take us to victory. What the fuck? I'm in trios. Those two people in our squad that scammed us. It was in trios, but it spawned us in a duo. They literally just wanted us to lose from the very beginning. Thank you very much, game. I don't appreciate that. Oh, very nice. I felt that in me loins. Hmm. Yeah, for me, I am into emotional, distant, narcissistic people. Like, even my friends fit that description, but I wouldn't think most women find that charismatic. Most women, obviously, there are some. Fair enough. So basically, I'm fucked in terms of the average woman. Well, we are in trios. Maybe our idiot teammate will fucking be across the entire map. Oh my god, he was reviving me and then he stopped reviving me. If we die because of that, I'm gonna lick your taint. Oh my lordy. Oh. My soul just entered my penis and ejaculated into hell. You don't even know what that means, because I don't know what that means either. But all I know is that it's a very negative sensation that fits what I felt when I died there because of my trash teammates. Well, you're not fucked. A lot of guys play a slowly crippling persona. Like you, the person who revived me at like slowest rate in the world, bro. They, they literally could have revived me at a little faster. They revived me like halfway and then stopped and then revived me again. And I was like, "What are you doing?" So they just fucked up with the revive and made us die. So moral of the story is, yo, slowly crippling persona. I mean, a lot of guys do play the slowly crippling persona, but also I think if I remember, there's like a statistic that says like 20% of people die like, you know, alone or some shit. And I don't want to be like a one in five people, man. Like a lot of people, 1 to 5 is a lot of people. Like if I went into a room in like an average house, like there'd probably be like at least like family of 3 or 4 or something like that. If I went around a building, it'd be like at least 10 people. If I went into like a large complex, maybe like 100 people. And more of the story is like, there's a lot of people, and a lot of those people are gonna die alone, bro. A lot of them are gonna die alone. I don't want to die alone. Dying alone sounds a little like shitty from a personal subjective level. It's like, from intellectual level, no, there's no objective value in being with someone. Who gives a fuck? But when it comes down to me like having feelings and being like a social creature, it's like, yeah, dying alone is not on the agenda. So it's something I suspect and have already mentally prepared for, but it's something that I'd rather not occur. At the very minimum, getting my dick wet would be nice. You know what? Fuck it, we're gonna go over here. Well, I'll die alone on my friend. What do you mean? You want someone next to you that could suck your dick? But if you want, yo, exactly, my homie. I want myself a personal hoe that will blow me as I die. Or do you want like friends and family? No, I don't want friends and family. Fuck that shit. No, I want like a romantic partner, like someone who'd actually like fuck me, basically. Like I want someone I'm sexually attracted to and romantically attracted to, like with me a good portion of my life. Like I want to be with someone romantically, basically. I don't want to like die like an old person, like bleh, like mean like my duty is to live for Ethylism, and perish. Just like it's just, I'd rather just be like I'm living for you also, honey, and then perish. You know what I mean? Like, I don't wanna be living like a hellish life my whole life from a subjective level where it's like I'm only living for no nothing just 'cause ethics and then scream. So you see sort of visions or a long-term relationship with some girl, moving in together, traveling, learning, growing, all that good shit. No, not at all. But I understand that from a social perspective. Now that I've felt love, that it's something that's quite nice. And there was once a time when there was someone that I would have been willing to move in with and stuff like that. I just wouldn't be delusional enough to have fantasies about that because, they literally lived in South Africa and I live in America. So like it would be like, I knew it was never going to occur. And sure enough, they got in a relationship with someone else and then really ended up killing themselves and a bunch of things. Basically, went shit with that one. So moral of the story is, yes, the only person I've ever fallen in love with was one person who was extraordinarily unique, and basically goodbye to them. I guess they didn't want to stick around in life. Basically, it's a very low chance I'm going to find anybody that's compatible, worthy of imagining any type of fantasy of being with. So I don't really have any fantasies of being with people in any ways. I was the first person in the sky is the limit for you. No, bro. When it comes down to this person was probably the most unique person I've ever met, like ever in the world, by like extreme amount. Like no, I've never met a person that I've respected in my life since them, and I met them like 7 years ago. So just gonna meet more people. Yo, bro, this person I meet quite a bit of people online, and this person I met online, and I meet quite a bit of people. Talk to quite a bit of people. I mean, I'm literally a streamer. So I mean, I've met quite a bit of people in my life, and yeah, I mean, I've only been attracted to someone personality-wise once ever. I'm sure I've been plenty of people I want to bang. So many people I know that are just like, oh, anybody you want to have sex with, you like them as a friend. No, that's not how it is with me. Like, it's like like I only find certain personalities worthy of my time, basically. Meaning they have to be fairly much like me myself, and unfortunately, there's not a whole bunch of people who are like me. For the world's sake, that's probably a good thing. What was unique about her? A lot of different things. She really cared about animals, but at the same time, she really cared about people. At the same time, she hated people, and she was homicidal and natures like me. She had multiple different personality things going on. Tons of like experience of people. She was very mature, even though she was like 6 months younger than me. But I thought she was like older than me for like the longest time when I first met her, because we were online, obviously, when I first met her. So I thought she was like in her like 30s, 40s, that's when I first met her and stuff. So like she was just a lot more mature for her age. She's been through like a lot of hardships and stuff. It's hard to describe her character in a way without like meeting her, but just like know that she was like the kindest person I've ever met, and like the person who like listens to every single unique detail about your life and like really genuinely cares about like what you are and like what you think about them and what you think about other people and like how your character develops and stuff like that. Like they generally care about like you as you and like what makes up you. Like they don't just be like, oh, I like Brand as a tool, basically. Like they don't like care. They don't think like I do. Basically, she thought different than I do. I can see myself in everybody, basically, just like this robot, like this. I can see through people and I see like reflections of parts of myself, just how like people just like like use people as like tools and manipulations. And for her, I could see that just like everybody else. Yes, everybody's it's impossible not to have psychological hedonistic tendencies. But there's a lot more behind it where it was just like, she genuinely like wanted to like, like learn about you for you and like see you develop as a person and stuff. So like I respected that like quite a bit. Like there was she was like generally not a very selfish person. And so like that was quite a bit of like respect from that and like other aspects of her, like the hardship she's been through and chose to endure, despite the fact that like there's really nothing worth enduring. And the fact that she's been betrayed by like so many people and like thought like, oh, this guy who's literally like psychotic as shit, I'm gonna actually put my trust in him and stuff. So the fact that she was like, like willing to do a lot of stuff like that made her unique, given the fact that like most people won't give me the time of day. Do I believe in Oliver if there's no one similar? No, I don't believe that. I believe there's definitely people who are similar enough to her who are not very unique as and we're all like humans are generally similar-ish enough, but when it comes down to it, I don't think I'm gonna meet that person. I don't think that person's gonna meet me when they're also single and an optimal environment. So it's basically just like my chances of me meeting the person who also is compatible with me and also happens to be an optimal environment for me to meet them realistically is just slim to none. So, yeah, the chances I had that happen to me was just pure luck, and it wasn't even that lucky because it's not like she ever like fell in love with me. It was just a one-way street. So, yeah, pretty much me finding a person who I actually thought was compatible, and probably was compatible with, but it just didn't work out. Uh, 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 was a fucking one in a million, basically. Now, now that happening again, but actually working out, now that's never gonna occur in my opinion. But that's also me just being pessimistic as I always am. But it's a good thing to be pessimistic because, being optimistic just is a good way to fuck yourself over, I guess. So, there was so much against you: distance, time, age. You might be right with there being slim chance to have no hope for myself, but that's because I don't try. But at least you actually try. So, I mean, we're basically the same age, though. It's not like 6 months difference. I mean, that's not that bad. I mean, like, given that I met her when I was 15, she was 15. It was just like, I was 15 and a half and she like just turned 15. We're basically the same age. I mean, when we first met each other. So, man, yeah. Age wasn't really the thing. It was just, yeah, time, distance, where you were young. Oh, yeah, that you were young as fuck. Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely right. Yeah, the fact that we were young and shit. Yeah. Yeah, hope myself. That's because I don't try. At least you actually try. So, I mean, I try a little bit. I mean, I don't actually try to get out there and like be like a ladies brand. You just started life as 23-year-olds. We've just started. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but there's jealous of plenty of people that don't live past that. Like when it comes down to it, our ancestors didn't live much past 23. So, and we only really got an extra, what, like 40, 50, 60 years on our lifespan, maximum basically 60. So, like an average, like max, we got like a total of 100. We got 100 max, like that. The oldest person's lived to like 122, 123 or some shit like that. So it's like, yeah, it's like we're not gonna make it that long. We're like, sure, in the beginning of our life, but like we're already like probably like a third of the way through, you know. And given we're effortless, kind of makes it even more uh, edgy, given that we don't really have much use in old age if we can't spread our messages effective. So we probably would like get me myself. I'm gonna get euthanized at some point when I'm like no longer valuable. Yeah, they were speedrunning. Oh, that's why they had married 12 and have kids at like 16. Yeah, basically, man. Fucking people in the past are just going crazy. Where'd you meet her online, by the way? Discord or League or something? No, it was like this dumb website called Anime Amino back in the day. It's a bunch of weirdos and shit, honestly, nowadays, so don't go on Amino. But when it comes down to it, yeah, I met her on Amino back when I was in high school. So, yeah, what was an anime weeb? So, oh, yeah, I remember that website. Yeah, it was Grailcoon, the legend himself, the first person on there to be named Grailcoon. You may not recognize that name, and if you do, I'm really sorry for my behavior. I was an absolute menace and a legend. You can like literally look up my name on Google, and my fucking like account pops up sometimes. Nah, it doesn't pop up anymore. My account's been deleted for too long. Maybe when I delete my account, just vanish off of Google also. Nah, I'm not gonna. But no, I had like this little chibi character from an anime called Carpal Phantasm, based off of Type Moon's Fate series, and uh, I had a character called there was a character called Grailcoon. That was the first person to basically use that as my account name. He was basically this little persona of this the Holy Grail that would just give people knives for their solutions to all problems. Everybody would be fighting over the Holy Grail, and basically it would grant any wish. And basically in the spin-off series, it was just like this chibi persona of like the Holy Grail. Whenever people would ask it for help or like wishes or whatever, like Grail Coon, help me with this, he would just be like, "Here, have this," and I would just give them like a knife. And I was just like, yes, base character. So, when it comes down to it, Grailcoon was my persona, and I was an absolute legend on there. The Legend of Grailcoon, just an absolute fucking psychotic menace. High school me was a fucking high school me could make like Jeffrey Dahmer blush, bro. I was fucking beast, bast. think I just saw a crime against humanity. My eyes, they burn. Can you see? No, you can't. Good, you're welcome. God damn it. So there's a shark crawling up this dude's ass, and the shark uses his skin like a skin suit, decides to fuck the dude's girlfriend, and the dog's in the background, and then it just shows her pregnant and the dog's in there, you know? They give birth, but it's like a dog human, which implies that she fucked the dog. And yup, he walks out and he becomes a crackhead in the streets. Um, why the shark living inside the man's flesh body that he crawled up the ass of, is a crackhead in the streets in the end of the comic. Um, truly, I love living in a world where I have eyes. I envy the blind. You know what? You know what? I wrote a whole fucking paper once on how we should screen for things. We should screen for people with eyesight and just remove that. Like, no more eyesight. No more of that curse for the future generations. We can stumble around screeching in the dark, trying to fumble around just so we don't see that. Revert to caveman. Oh no. Just saw a post that said Jesus didn't have sex with men, and then comment says pretty sure he got nailed by several, and I'm like, nice, very biblical. The world surely would be a better place if we all couldn't see. Yeah, basically, like we wouldn't be able to have guns, we wouldn't be able to have like warfare. We'd all just be like walking around like stumbling into shit. We have far better life. Like scavenge things off like smell or something, like a bunch of weirdos. That or we just turn into like the creatures from The Descent, and that would be pretty not cool. Not gonna lie. The creatures from Descent are kind of spooky. He thought desire came without inherent suffering. He mad. Philosophy memes to crush your dreams. Well, it's not actually the name of the group, but he mad now. Me too, bro. Relatable. Relatable but unoriginal. So two people are watching me on YouTube. Who's the second person? It's just Max. Is it one of my friends? Is it Max or Jimathan? One of you guys just lurking in here watching me? How's it going? I know it's you guys now. Yeah, he's interesting the lurker. Yeah, yeah. Even Soft Apple knows that there's a lurker in here. They can see that there's another person watching the stream. We know you're here. We know you're here. There's one Twitch bot This is the Twitch bot that's basically just me using the Twitch app, which essentially shows that I'm watching my own stream. And then there's Soft Apple. But it says there's 3 people, which means there's one more person watching. I know you're here. Just kidding, that was weird. But no, seriously, who's reveal yourself or be suffered by being nailed by many men. Yes, you either become Jesus or reveal yourself. It's the only 2 options. Get get nailed by us sexy men who flicks hair, or reveal yourself. Either way, if you want to get nailed, you're gonna need to reveal yourself. So reveal your. Honestly, though, I should just get like a nat 20, and every time I roll, if it's a nat 1, I just don't get out of bed during the day. Like honestly, would probably make my life better. Huh? I should take my antipsychotics now that I think about it. Oh, my antipsychotic. It would imply there's multiple, but I'm only taking one. Now that I've taken my antipsychotic, let me just take a swig of this alcoholic beverage because my therapist loves me. Just kidding, my psychiatrist loves me. I'm literally the most toxic human being she's probably ever met. So they're just like, hey, you know what you're not supposed to do? And I'm just like, this. Cool. You know what, Brant? I'm gonna be brutally honest about your attractive level for you. And you know what? Here it comes. Yo, I love this shit. Here it comes. I'm gonna get either insulted or a real gay confession, and I'm cool with either one. Oh yeah, feels like disappointment talking about this drink, and like my psychiatrist probably crying on the inside if people were right about astral projection, I imagine my like psychiatrist probably does that shit. But you're curious what I look like without it. If you want to find out what I look like without a beard, honestly, there's no reason for me not to shave it. It's not like I'm in school or anything. Uh, let's do that. Here, come with me. We're gonna have fun. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. I can't hear you no more. Okay, we're going to the bathroom to uh, to do what must be done. The other person left. They got scared. You shaving right now? Mad lad. I am an absolute mad lad, dude. I'm crazy. Anyways, I'm gonna mute the mic so it doesn't harass your eardrums. You're probably right about the nice fitting complimentary clothes. I used to have nicer clothes, but I just kind of dress like an activist these days because I don't really go to my way to try to get laid, really. I think you're cuter without the beard. So you're telling me I shouldn't have facial hair? Um, we'll have to ask the people in the chat then in the future what they think of that suggestion. You look younger and approachable. What does that mean? Did I look gruff and scary beforehand? I was told that I looked like I was 27, or like 26 to like 27, maybe 28 beforehand when I had my beard. And when I don't have a beard, I'm told that I look about my age, like my early 20s. So I guess it really depends, but perhaps I do look more approachable when I don't have my beard. Yeah, I mean, I don't look bad without a beard. You looked older and scary before, a little scary like, is this man gonna kill me or is he just a weeb? Ah, fair enough. I mean, I suppose. Bro, what the fuck? You're fine. Fuck the beard. Nah, I mean, you're kind of right, but at the same time. So apparently, fuck the beard. I just need to go steady without the facial hair. Usually it takes a second to get to people after shaving or a haircut, but yeah, you look good. Thanks, I appreciate it. Okay, so now we got a solid take that I look better without a beard. Um, your forehead is a little 5 head though. That's a little 5 head though. Do you style your hair? I do. Here we can do. I didn't do this yet today, but occasionally she convinced me to get this stuff. So this works for, I guess, like the eyes and stuff like that. I can style my hair on camera. Why not? Really don't do much of my style in my hair. My hair kind of naturally just kind of goes the way I usually style it, which is just up and over. Though you should grow it out some more. Yeah, I used to have my hair a lot longer. It used to be like down to my shoulders actually, but I stopped that for no particular reason actually. I was kind of one day was like, we're done with that. It's mainly because I worked at a factory and it just like you work at a factory and it's metal everywhere. It just kind of gets in your hair and it's fucking annoying, man. Shit, fucking cringe ass mid part. See what I look like that. I haven't done a mid part in forever. Yo, Apple dude, what do you think about the mid part? No, a little gay. Makes me look more like a fuckboy though, just slightly. It's better than nothing for sure. Nah, I gotcha. By nothing, do you mean like what it was previously? I'd prefer it growing out, not all the way into your shoulders, but not fair enough. Yeah, before I had it going down to my shoulder. As I say, I'm kind of a hip dude, so. See, I can put in that dumb makeup shit that that lady convinced me to buy. Which actually works pretty well, I guess, but still. I guess not really got some like eye rejuvenating cream, which helps like with like wrinkles or whatever it causes like that blackness look around your eyes when you're tired, I guess, which is like caused by I think blood flow or something. Hey, as long as the placebo is real to you. No, yeah, you're 100% right, though. As long as the placebo is real to me, that's all that matters, man. As long as the placebo works, I'll feel like I got my money's worth. That's what fucking counts. Once you spend the amount of money on it, it's like you best believe you spent it. Tattoos are a nice bonus. Fuck yeah, they are, dude. Tattoos a little bit brightened up and some moisturizer on them. Mr. Moth looking mighty. I'm looking 5 years younger. Fuck yeah. Yeah, that's a chat right there. Thanks. Whoa. Of the Sigma variety. Hey. I want to make some beans. I am the bean boy. I am the bean boy. Bushes. Legumes for a I don't know what that means, man. How do I feel about gaining more muscle? No, bro. Everybody keeps on telling me I should become like a vegan weight lifter or something like that to like try to gain popularity in my channel. And I'm like, nah, man. Are you willing to put in the gym time for? No, I'm not. I'm willing to put in time into activism, and hopefully people will think that my character is good enough to be worthy of their time. That's what I'm hoping. If people need me to look like a chisel Hollywood actor, then dang, they probably aren't worth my time for the most part in terms of long-term stuff. But just for the casual, it would be nice, I guess. But when it comes down to it, I'm not willing to put in that much effort. Usually I just use a blender, but it's late at night, so we're using the masher. We're using the masher. We're going mashy mode at this point. Well, that was shitty as fuck. Yo, the mashy mode did not work out as well as I thought. But yeah, usually this is much more of a paste, but it's not. It's just kind of like kernels of corn and beans, which isn't that great because, frankly, kernels of corn don't really provide you much nutrition as they are because it's kind of like trapped inside. But whatever. I mean, who cares? I'm just doing it because I'm hungry and I want something to eat, not because I'm efficiently thinking about caloric intake and nutrients. Plus, I have multivitamins, so like, who gives a fuck? I'm 5'7", 5'7.5", I guess, technically speaking, but it sounds stupid to say 5'7.5", so 5'7". No, bro, I'm short. I'm a short lad. This also contributes to why I'm single, because I'm in the categories of the two most forbidding categories. It's being Asian, which is number one, and then it's being short, which is number two. And I'm short, so at least I'm not short and Asian. That would really suck. Have you tried at high heels stilts or growing? options hasn't worked out very well, unfortunately. Have I tried high heels? No. Have I tried stilts? If I join the circus, it'll be first thing I do. But until then, beans. 5'9" is the average height of the adult male, so you're not actually short. So you're just saying you're short. Women just make 5'9" seem short compared to everybody I know anyway. Yeah, well, maybe you live by a bunch of like Icelandic folk or something, but on average, it's 5'9" for height in America. I have tall friends. Yeah, lol, you're right. Yeah, your friends are just tall, dude. It's just how it be. Hmm. Whenever I shave my beard, I always wish like I had like a tighter jawline. You know what I mean? I do my jawline exercise. Your jaw is nice and defined. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I wish it was more defined. I feel like there has to be something wrong with me, my dude. It's just like everybody's all like, "Nah, bro, you're pretty good. Like your forehead's a little big, your teeth are a little fucked, but other than that, like you're pretty fine when it comes to physical looks. Besides being short." And I'm like, "Well, why have I been single for so long?" There's literally like wife beaters and shit that have been like with more people than I have in the span of like a year than I have in like my entire life. It's like, what the fuck? Well, like you said, if you don't try a lot, it's less likely. Yeah, you're 100% right. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know, man. Do I look like I'd be like someone who's not single? Like, do women think that if they were to just approach me, I would be like, no, I'm not interested. Like, I mean, to be fair, like every woman that's ever asked me out, I have turned them down, but they've all been really ugly. So I mean, like when it comes down to it, if an attractive woman asked me out, I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah. So like, it's just like a big shame. Why life gotta be like this? Why is it that I can go out in public and occasionally get flirted with by women, but when I try to you know, flirt with women online, it don't work at all. And when I go out in public just trying to do my own thing, it's just like occasionally I'll get people to flirt with me and I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm also like trying to just like get a game from GameStop lady, like shit like that, and then it don't work out. What are you doing, Colin? Why is your head tilted like that? Why is your head tilted like that? Slightly to the left. Yeah, because your neck hurts. That makes sense. Oh, see, I could tell that your neck was strained. Yeah. No, I'm not trying to fix your neck. Yeah, I just wanted to point out your neck looks fucked. You're welcome. Fuck you. Just kidding. But have a good night. I don't act much difference in terms of dressing. It really depends. I mean, I dress like a stoner, so it's kind of like this here. Terms of pants, khakis, jeans, black pants, stuff like that, like dress pants, stuff like that. Occasionally, we'll wear like the hippie stuff and hippie clothes. Got a bunch of hippie clothes, bro. We got a bunch of hippie clothes. We got the color black. We got a Hawaiian shirt that's mainly black. Got a tank top right here. Yo, what's up, Colin? Now for what? No, fair enough. Got like stoner poncho. Fuck yeah. I'm just talking on YouTube. The school that I dropped out of t-shirt. Boring gray, sorry, teal t-shirt. One solid color. Solid color long t-shirt, just nothing. Black shirt. Another long shirt that's gray. Another shirt that's just gray. Another shirt that's just black. Dress shirt that's like black. sad, and so you've got sad eyes. My eyes are sad, and your clothes kind of loose and boring. They at least they don't say, "Hey, come fuck me." Fair enough. Uh, I got a turtleneck. I got a bunch of 80s wear, so I got like cords in this one. I got not cords in this one, but it's also brown. So I got a brown one, and I have that's cords, and a brown one that's not cords. Showing off my dress clothes is essentially just like
Your hippie clothes.
yeah, my hippie clothes, my fucking 80s wear, basically. Makes me like straight up like look at this shit. Turn the grill on. What the fuck? I would never wear those together, by the way. But
That'd be
no,
complete style if you wore that with orange shorts.
it would. I hate the color orange, Colin. Orange is the worst color. It reminds me of hunters and safety.
Hunters or criminals. Let's go.
To ask Colin what he thinks of my closet, because he slays pussy, well, Colin would say that my clothes suck.
His closet or his closet?
My closet.
Your closet don't get you pussy. It don't get you pussy or pussy. It may get you that rat. It gets you that girl at in her high school that's like Filipino and she like thinks she's crazy and she hears thoughts. She's like willing to fuck anybody as long as they talk to her. That's your girl. That's the pussy.
I mean, to be fair, I'm cool with fucking schizo Filipino girl who's hot, but also
You honestly want her like Jade. She tries to be friends with Jade, and she just like goes over there, and Jade tries to get rid of her. So like, if you want her, you can have her.
Jade.
Yeah.
Jade's hot as shit.
Jade doesn't want her friend as her friend. So if you want to like adopt
Jade's hot as shit. You adopt Jade. Jade's hot as shit, but Jade's fucking crazy.
We're not talking about Jade.
Jade dated a drug dealer. Anybody who dates a drug dealer is having some issues in life. Colin, no one knows who Jade is on YouTube, and no one knows who other person is whose name I'm not going to mention in association with this being a drug dealer. Moral of the story is my brother's telling me to hook up with a chick who is basically just dating any crackhead, though. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that, Colin. Jade's fine as fuck, but when it comes down to it, anybody you don't want to ask him. Yeah, you basically don't want to ask Colin questions. You ask Colin questions, he'll go into random spiel.
So you trying to smoke or not?
You trying to smoke?
I kind of.
You trying to?
I mean, I'm in constant pain for the last 2 days, so yes.
So if you're in constant pain, you want to smoke, then all you need to do is ask.
Unicorn that was just
In the window?
It's a giant lemur looking worse animal. Like it was in the yard for a minute, but I think it was just a tree branch.
Yeah, seeing as how there's not giant lemurs in the United States or anywhere in the world, I'm pretty sure it was just a tree branch, Colin. You're probably a little. You're probably not. Fair enough. He wants to come with us, so
See, this door is something for some reason broken.
the door's fucked.
Yeah, did you notice that? Or I'm just too strong, or something, because, like, look at this.
What do you mean? Let's turn it the other way. One way is kind of fucked, but the other way is not.
No, try this way.
That way's fine. That way's not fine. The door's kind of just screwed, bro. Anyway, we're gonna ignore that.
She walked outside and inside at nighttime, and I just started kicking the door, and I'm like, fuck. Why can't I get in? I need to take a piss.
Well,
I'm gonna go.
don't do that. You can just piss like any other tree besides that one. But you chose the one that's like 2 inches away. Yeah, the internet said don't pass go, so I'm gonna be back in a minute. I'm sorry, it's just how it be. The internet does not permit. Why?
I want to offer you
I'll tell you eventually. You. Yo, Colin. Do I look better without the beard? One of my viewers say I look better without the beard, but
a lot more like innocent child. You look like a person that I've seen in a movie the way that you have your hair is like that.
like, do you think if I what do I, when I put it like normal? I guess.
I don't like your brand.
You don't like my hair normal?
If you have a beard, you look a lot more like masculine and assertive. I guess I don't know.
I look more scary.
I guess.
Do I look
You
more?
don't look scary.
I
You
look.
don't look scary. You just look like you have a beard and you don't look like a kid.
So I look more approachable like this.
Probably
I look more attractive with a beard.
more approachable, but you don't look more. I wouldn't say you look more attractive.
Do I look about the same level of attractiveness?
I'd say probably.
Doesn't matter really either way. So I'm just fucked. Okay, cool.
Unless you go to that girl or find another girl like that, then you might have a chance of having a stable, weird marriage. Or she can just be you and she can just be like, I just want to be around someone, talk to someone.
Who would you say?
Yeah, exactly, Brad. You need some weird psycho bitch.
I need some weird psycho bitch. Yeah, well, the only weird psycho bitch I've ever found killed themselves, so, rip.
Watch this for it more. Play sport, maybe. What was that? Yeah, play sport or go out like
Why the fuck would I go on Roblox?
yeah, because Roblox it's like a whole bunch of weird shit now. And it's now like adult games.
No, if anything, I go on like VR chat or something fun actually.
Yeah, Brandon, you do that now.
I'm not gonna buy VR though, I'm broke.
Brandon, you smell my air freshener upstairs?
Yes, it smells really nice. Been wondering what the fuck it has been all day. Yes, I smell your air freshener. It smells.
You should invest in one of those for the house because one of those lasts 3 to 4 months, and you can buy those in packs of 3s. So you can buy it. It costs like $12 for like 1
Oh well, sure. I don't care. Smells good though.
I think you should do it because our house kind of smells weird and funky sometimes.
He said my beard is irrelevant basically, but when it comes down to it, I do not take offense to anything that basically anybody says, unless they're directly insulting my appearance overall and being like, "You look ugly," and then I'd be like, "Okay, that's a little mean."
Mom's gonna say about that when she wakes up.
Say about what?
The air freshener.
I mean, you could.
Candle, but this leaves like this will like end up like scenting like everything. It will make like the house smell go away. You know what I mean? Like the house smell.
I mean, I could smell your one downstairs all day whenever I go over there.
Yeah. And like that will make it so like when like people come here and it's like you know someone has to lay down, they don't smell our house, they smell that basically instead. More likely. Because you know if you like leave something here and bring it to your friend's house,
Yeah.
go to your friend's house and like yeah.
I mean, they'll probably appreciate it, I guess. I don't know.
It's like one of those things you do in college to get laid. Make sure that like if you like your room doesn't smell like dorm or you know what I mean?
Sure.
Especially when you go to the gym. I mean you can, but like it's just like I don't know, makes it a little bit better, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I had an apartment for 2 years and I didn't like get laid at all during that time, so it was a shame. But yeah.
I'm walking my room and I'll be like, ooh, it smells like a coffee shop.
For record, I would never had an apartment. I was lying. Okay, Fed boys.
Alright, why are you doing to protect people with this? Hey, what are you gonna be off?
No, I'm not.
Dark asshole. Dark asshole. Bitch ass nigga, bro. Goddamn. What you doing on your bread? What you do?
He smokes Delta 8 and only Delta 8.
I'm not. I'm doing CBD.
He's,
And Delta 8.
yup,
Air shampoo.
air shampoo.
Yo.
Yep, he smokes air shampoo. Like Gil's dynamic, very entertaining. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I like smoking air shampoo because I like killing myself, but it still gives me that Delta 8 high.
Air shampoo gets that Delta 8 high. I'm in. Freeze B. Is it hair or air?
You should just bring your computer downstairs and I can turn on some Netflix and you can listen while I sit on that watch Netflix while I game on my futon with cool RGB lights. Show them my cool custom print. You want to show them my cool rainbow shoes?
Why would I want to show him your cool rainbow shoes?
I think they want. It's like a mood ring though.
To be fair, I haven't seen your weird ass moon ring shoes yet, so sure, let's go see your weird moon ring shoes.
You want a fake piss? You like how I have a bottle of fake piss?
Do I like how you have a bottle of fake piss?
Yeah.
Oh, for when you've had for drug tests.
Yeah, it even has a heat sensor on it and tells you when it's valid to use for a cup.
I mean, it's always good to have one of those, I guess. You never know when you need to.
Grant, this is my shoe collection. I even hung up my fanny packs. And then I even got that cool little backpack over there now.
My brother's room is a lot cleaner than mine.
This fucking dope ass backpack, boys. Look at that dope ass backpack. Yeah.
Where do you even buy that? I don't know where you buy that.
Backpack?
Yeah, I guess like, yeah, the backpack and all the other stuff. Yeah.
If you guys want, I was thinking about making a website this summer to like actually help people find like stylish clothing and shit like that. So like I don't know, like if you guys want, I can.
Oh,
do
the
that.
piss. Where do you get the fake piss?
Oh, you can go on like to your vape shop like Holy Smokes or Tundra, or you can even go on Amazon and it's synthetic urine, and it's like I don't know, it's like lab urine. It works for like 2 years before it expires.
And you hear the man. Where's your weird rainbow shoes?
Was my neck weird and tilted again? Was it?
I wasn't paying attention.
Is it right now?
No.
Look at these shoes.
That's pretty neat. They change colors?
By the way,
The way you touch them? Like body heat, or just like the light?
But like I think so, but not really. I think you can. They do change the heat a little bit because like now that they're downstairs and more warm, it's more blue that I see. Whereas like when I put them in the fridge, all I saw was like dark red and like green.
That's interesting. Those are actually kind of cool. Yeah.
They're Jordan 1, so it's like these are like from 1980s. These are like the first Jordans that came out, but they're still making more.
1980s first Jordans.
Yeah, these are from 2023 too. But like I don't have any old ones because like those ones are like super expensive. But like these came out in like 2004. These are Jordan 4s.
Hmm.
And they have like Jordan 11s, 12s, and like 16s now and shit like that.
Yeah, so I guess if anybody wants to buy my brother's shoes, hit him up or something. I don't know.
But if you want to chill down here and put on TV and move the cans, and you can just watch some Netflix down here and talk to your people. I'm gonna just be gaming on Siege.
Nah, but I appreciate the offer. Let me plug my laptop in. You as well. Same voice inflections. I don't know what that means. He does want to hang out, but I don't because I'm me. He likes me, and I'm like, I don't like much of anybody. I'm always a little bit tired, my dude. But yeah, I've been awake for I don't know, a bit, quite a few hours, a little over 12 hours. That's creepy, and it's probably just a mix of one of us or both of us being psychopathic, and so we just mimic each other when we talk, basically. I do that when I'm around him, for sure. I mimic the way he talks, just to clout energy and all that. I don't know. But It's the perks of being me. I can match people's energies if I want to. I do know what you mean, though I have developed one, kind of. It's just wishy-washy. The baseline branch is the one you always see, but, it's very easy to be molded to, like, for people. Different crowds. Hmm. I'm just big resting. What do I look? Do I look like I'm like uh having a moment? Because it's always miserable. If that's so you, because I'm always miserable. Because honestly, that's pretty accurate, I guess. I don't know, man. Sad thing is, it feels like there's not much to think about. It kind of feels like once you understand that, like all that really matters is suffering reduction and suffering prevention. It's kind of like everything else just kind of seems like, like what's the point of doing much anything else besides that? And so it's just like even contemplating things seems kind of useless. It's like I kind of got it figured out. I can't really explain how to do the aught gap or whatever, but I don't think you need to really bridge that gap. I don't really think there's much of a gap to be like bridged. It's just kind of like, well, if it is kind of implied that the aught's there. It's not really. I don't know, it's hard to even explain that, but I can't really contemplate it very much. No one's been able to figure that out. It's just like, it doesn't seem there's much point of contemplating on a lot of things. It's just kind of like I'm just kind of just like at this point I'm just existing to like just like, spread my ideology. I'm just like a comedic, narcissistic, pessimistic, slightly psychopathic vessel of apholism and veganism antinatalism at this point. I'm just like an ideology machine. Beep boop. Oh yeah, 100%. Like I agree. Like if I'm like really into a video game, I love listening to lore videos and stuff like that. I love creepypastas and I love books and like sci-fi and stuff. Like there's a bunch of things that I like because I used to like them quite a bit and I still like them. I just understand that it's just artificial value that I'm generating and it doesn't have anything actual meaningful worth to it. And I could be doing something of actual value, like what I'm doing right now, like having a live stream going, like trying to prevent suffering and stuff. Like waiting for people to like ask me questions and stuff, and me being like, yeah, I can think about that and blah blah blah. But when it comes down to it, like people like us, we've kind of already got the answers for what like we've been searching for. So it's like until some other person who's not an FLS stumbles across this, it's kind of just like it's kind of I don't know. It's like it's great having conversations with fellow FLists. It's just not really very productive in terms of ethical advancement of my like duties per se. Just because it is fun. It's just like I can't. I'm not really like convincing everybody of anything or like getting people to like do big think. It's just like they've already kind of like thought and agreed with like what I'm saying. So, but yeah, I agree. It's always there's a lot of things I enjoy thinking about. It's just the kind of like ephilism and lack of free will and determinism and desires and all that stuff being tire machines and zero sum game, all that stuff put together basically just makes it like I don't know, it just kind of sucks the fun out of everything. Yeah, basically it's just distraction at that point. And it's not good enough. But the distractions are great, but once you realize the distractions are distractions, and you truly have it like ingrained into you for like a long period of time that like this is just a distraction, it's almost impossible to get that out of your brain. It's like once you've ingrained it into your brain as like a true reality that everything is just a distraction, you can't go back into the delusion. You've already like stepped out of it, and it's like a force field. It's like a one way like force field. You can go in one way, but the other way you can't. Come back out. You're just trapped, and you just no matter how hard you push against, you're like, ah, shit, please let me back in. This sucks over here, and it's just like, well, shouldn't have got curious, buddy. Should have stuck in religion land where things are fun and you just believe Sky Daddy loves you and you can do whatever the hell you want. But what about stuff that takes you into the moment and makes you forget other stuff like physical things, exercise, friends, some adventure? Bros, man, life is perceptually avoiding negative states. Honestly, I'm trying to just constantly do exactly that, like just avoid negative states, like be high, distract myself with friends. My brother is constantly doing exercise and all that stuff. He's basically doing the same thing. He's just not aware of it. When I'm in those moments, there's points where I'm fully distracted by it. Like obviously, I'm a social creature, and so like there's moments where I'm like completely enveloped in the social moment, and it's just like excellent. This is awesome. I'm just straight with it. But then there's also moments where I'm hanging out with friends and there's a little bit of a lull in the conversation, or I'm just talking about my philosophy or something. And yeah, it just hits me like a truck, and I'm just like, yep, distraction, distraction, distraction. Like it's like even as I'm driving there and I'm in the car and like I look to the right of me and there's like my little cards and stuff like for my activism and stuff like that. And it's just like I could be doing that right now. I could be doing that, but I'm doing this. Like it's a nice day out. I could be doing that. It's like those abortion folks walk around in the snow and the rain. I could be doing this. All I need is a poncho. And fuck, if I have a poncho, it just shows how I'm more like dedicated to the cause, doesn't it? Like shit, like that's how my brain works. It's a constant, just like negative, like energy, just constantly going on. Just like you could be doing more. All it takes is a lull in any moment, basically. Yeah, it's depressing. And that's all it takes is just a little moment to just fuck everything up, and then it's hard to get back into. Especially like certain moments, like all I need to do is just think about Shamira a little bit, and if it's like something like relatable, like really deep about it, and it's like something that's like happened to me in the moment that's really related to like her in like a weird way. Like I'm really enjoying myself, like I'm having a great time, and then I think to myself like, oh shit, like I'm having so much fun right now. She's never had this much fun in like nearly a decade. Her life has been misery for so long, and I've just been enjoying myself and like could have been doing other things, blah 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 blah. And like just thinking about her makes me like miserable as shit. So, I try to avoid thinking about her, but at the same time, it also feels like I'm spinning on her existence and memory, and it's kind of like hiding myself from the truth of the reality if I don't think about her. And like, so it feels like I should think about her more to like motivate myself to do more because it does, but at the same time, it hurts. And yeah, it's just life's just fucking sucks, bro. It sucks, man. Do you think it's possible to change your thought patterns? Clearly, we have a tendency to torture ourselves with our thoughts. Making ourselves face reality all the time seems admirable, but it doesn't seem like the most effective way to live or be an activist or do anything. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, it just kind of hurts itself. But once you kind of get into it, it's really difficult to get your mindset out of that. Like, would it be possible? Maybe. If I somehow found like love again, something that's like so distracting, so infatuating, so equal near and feels and value to me on like an emotional, like instinctual level that it just enraptures my biological feelings, like like love basically for another person. If I could feel that, then hell, maybe I would be a more positive person who just doesn't have that pessimistic attitude, just fucking fully enveloping his mind and attitude and disposition at all times. That's not gonna ever happen. So when it comes down to it, no, I'm pretty sure that I'm just gonna be constantly aware of how the world works, constantly aware that my best friend and only person that's truly understood me for who I am basically took their own life, not because they thought the world was bad, because the world was so cruel to them specifically that just basically fucked them up. So they had to basically leave, and yeah, yeah, I love that feeling of waiting for someone to come along and save us, quote unquote. Yeah, basically. How's it going, mom? Yeah, right on. You drinking coffee or is that just water? Okay. I was like, it's wild, and if you just grab some coffee at 1 in the morning, fair enough. You can be aware of those things, but I've heard through therapy you can change the way you frame thoughts over time. Yeah, but therapy is basically just like brainwashing, and it's just silly billy stuff for the most part. I mean, some therapy is good for a lot of people. Okay, A lot of people really need therapy because a lot of people truly generally are fucked, okay? When you're like me, you understand your psychology for the most part. I mean, like, the only thing I didn't know about myself that my psychologist has put on my diagnosis so far is anxiety. And even I could have told people that, like, I'm technically more anxious than the average person because I'm more aware of things than the average person. Yeah, but like, it's just realistic though. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just me being realistic. I don't feel like why disappoint myself by being like all delusional and optimistic. Like sure it does help. Yes, it does help. Like my most optimistic friend, the one that literally thought every single person that looked him in the eyes was in love with him and basically worthy of like flirting with and asked them out pretty much. He's married and he's actually married to a person who's somewhat attractive. So it's just kind of like, yeah, I mean, it works, I guess. Like, good for him. I mean, he went after like literally everything that looked at him, and he somehow landed. But when it comes down to it, I don't have one. I can't do it to myself. I don't. I have pride, and two, no, I don't. I'm not like him. I don't think every girl that looks at me is just like, dang, that guy's a catch. I think most people look at me assume I'm gay. So, which is true because I've unfortunately been told that by a lot of people that they think I'm gay when they meet me. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm not. So I'm actually mainly I'm hetero-romantic and pansexual. So I'm more or less attracted to women. So when it comes down to it, it's women or men that look like me. So, because I'm a narcissist. We can change it into something more realistic and believe that instead. No, here's the thing. I believe that I could maybe find someone if to be attracted to me. Like maybe, like I would just have to not be myself, like remotely, and I don't want to do that. I often think my pride and desire to stick to some code is just fear of failure in disguise. No, I agree. It's a thing that I have as well. But at the same time, I believe in like philosophy and stuff like that. So I believe in like the concept of like philosophical rape and stuff like that. So I believe like you have to be extraordinarily genuine in order to like not be technically performing an immoral act while doing things because the world's a really fucked up place, man. If you really think about it, like a lot of people wouldn't consent to things if they knew I was like, say, a psychopath or whatever. They would just be like, "Oh, well, I wouldn't want to be with you if you're a creep or whatever." And I'm like, "Well, okay. I mean, fair enough. Like, that's completely understandable." Like, especially people like knew that I was like a weird anime loving nerd in high school or something. I don't know. Maybe they would be like, "Oh, I don't want to be with a nerd" or something like that. Like they saw me and I'm like dressed really nice or something, and they might be like, "Oh, look at him. He's a stunning Chad or some shit." And if I was like a bar and I just pretend to be like, "Yo, man, this is like I'm like really cool, bro. Like I'm just talking about like random bullshit that's whatever they're talking about, and just kind of just going with the flow. If I just bullshit my way through things, yeah, sure, I could get in some chick's pants probably. But it also feels like I'm also committing philosophical rape while doing that. Like, sure, I know a ton of people do that. Like, literally, the majority of people get laid by doing philosophical rape. But when it comes down to it, I'm not the majority of people, and so therefore, I don't feel like that's the cool thing to do is to create a facade and have them sleep with a facade and then be like, I hope you're okay with sleeping with facade me because, that won't be something you regret in the future. And if it is, I'm just thinking of all the other homicidal anime nerds with philosophical principles that stick to thinking they'll be alone forever out there. Yeah, you're probably right, but when it comes down to it, hey, I'm just the average homicidal anime nerd. But it's just how it be. Except I'm not crazy enough to actually do anything stupid like they would because I'm a philosopher. So I'm bound to my duty as a consequentialist to never do anything radical. Otherwise, we banned for the images I'm associated with, and that's not cash money. So basically, I'm just forever tortured by being a boring human being. And just in general, being a boring human being, because I'm just a boring person who's, boring, regardless of if I'm philosophically bound to be kind of boring. But, so much duty here, like a Marine. Yeah. Basically, man, almost joined the Marines and I almost joined the Air Force. The only reason I didn't was because I kind of took a bunch of. This is all a joke. What I'm saying is a lie. I took like 7 tabs of LSD like 3 weeks before I was supposed to be shipped off to basic training for the Air Force, and yeah, I tripped balls and was like, "Yo, bro, why are you doing this to yourself? You hate the military and the United States government." And I was just like, yes, but like you just want to like have someone control your life. You don't want this. You feel like you're in chaos. You feel like the world's spiraling out of control. There is no God, there is no purpose, and you just want something to tell you what the fuck to do. And so therefore military, that's what you're doing. And I'm just like, no, that can't be the answer. And the LC basically just told me like I can't do that to myself. Like that's just like throwing away 4 years or more of my life and possibly tearing apart my personality just to basically become like some number that wants to contribute to like the bloodshed of innocent people. And so basically, I dropped out, but like I was 2 weeks away from going into basic training. And guess what? At this point, that was 2019. It's 2023. I would be out by now. I would be out of the military right now, and I wouldn't be an ethicist. I wouldn't be a philosophy major. I wouldn't be an antinatalist. None of that stuff. I just was socialist back then, so like a democratic socialist, that was enough for me to like be like to fuck the military. But I wouldn't have became like an antinatalist or anything like that. But experience made that decision when I was 18. Yeah, man, I was 19 at the time. But yeah, I was gonna become a weatherman, so and I got my position too. So I don't know where I'll be stationed, but I was gonna hopefully I was like choosing like Hawaii for my number one and stuff like that. So and I got my number one job, which is weather. So basically, I would be a weatherman at this point. I'll be graduated from school and have my 2 years under the belt and duty. And at this point, I'd either be going into spec ops or I'd be going like spec ops weather, and I'd be going another 2 to 4 years in that, or do be just graduating and being like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out of here." And then I have weather in my belt with bachelor's degree in weather science, and I could basically become a weatherman and make like 120,000 a year. So I could be living it up right now, baby, but instead I chose ethics. Instead, I chose not to contribute to the bombing of innocent civilians in the Middle East via delivering weather news and coordinations for ground strikes and airstrikes. So, I was like, hey, instead of doing that, I'm gonna, yay. I joined the Air Force even though I was already an and hated the government. I enjoyed being told what to do for 4 years. You got out because of drugs, and now I got a check from the military every month. That's pretty nice, my dude. It's pretty nice. I'm glad. I'm glad for you. I mean, I didn't do it, but what was your job in the Air Force, by the way? I'm curious. I would have been weather, but what were you gonna? What was your job? My number 3 was fire, and I forgot what my number 2 was. I scored like a 91 on the ASVAB or whatever. It was like a 91 or a 92 on the ASVAB. I think I was a 92 actually. Now I think about it. I worked in a kitchen. Turned out it's not that big a deal. I basically just stayed to myself and did my job. That's fucking awesome. I enjoyed that. I love cooking, so that would be fun. I got like a 92 in my ASVAB though, so I qualified for every single job in the Air Force. And I was just like, cool, I'm gonna go for weather because weather sounds fucking awesome. And hell yeah, my dude. Being a cook sounds like an enjoyable experience for the Air Force. It's not like demanding like customer service, but it's like like you got a duty and regiment and stuff. It's cool. Yeah, you had high scores, you would have contributed to death much more, I guess. Well, basically, yeah, I would have been. I'm one of the smart dudes, so basically, I would have been in like even if I'm not pulling the trigger, I'm basically organizing the people that pull the trigger. Basically, if I would have been in weather science, hence why I basically was like, I can't do that. I know I'm not pulling the trigger. I'm just the guy telling the weather, but they can't do their missions efficiently and effectively without a weather guy. They need a weather guy to do that, and that means based off of like chain of events, butterfly effect. I'm part of that butterfly effect that leads to a bullet flying through an innocent person's head, or for whatever reason. So I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. No, thank you. So no, I'm a pro mortalist, so it'd be a little bit different. But I mean, still, at the same time, I don't like the military. I don't like the United States government very much as it is, or money governments at all as they are. So, yeah, I just don't like governments as they are. If they were a little bit more social democratic, a little more like Norwegian governments, then I would be a fan of them. But until that happens, it's not really a big fan of money governments at all. So. But yeah, my score was quite high on the ASVAB. Not like really, really high, but it was like quite high. I qualified for every job. For all we know, turning down that job caused more death. But yeah, promortalism too. Yeah, it's kind of weird giving promortalism, but at the same time, it feels I don't know, like I'm not necessarily doing proper version of promortalism. Like promortalism, like done right, is like being like, "Hey guys, euthanasia and suicide's cool," not like LMAO, like blowing up people in the Middle East because they're brown and can't fight back. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't seem the proper way to do promortalism. But maybe from a utilitarian perspective, it is. I don't fucking know. You'd have to like hash that out in debate and like conversation. But I'm not gonna do that live right now. I'm too high for that. What the fuck, Marco? How's it going, my little dude? Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to think about that. Me too, my dude. That's like me whenever I think about anything involving ethics of war, I'm just like, I'm naturally anti-war. What if it's like invading a country to stop genocide? Like, what if it's doing an offensive, joining in a war, an offensive war to like stop an invasion or like genocide or like testing of weapons on a populace? Like, what if you cause a bunch of suffering to prevent a larger amount of suffering? And I'm like, that's just basic negative utility, right? Like, surely war is cool though if you prevent a greater amount of suffering. It's just negative utility, right? And I'm like that kind of still fucked up though. But at the same time, if you were to think about it, like dropping the nuke on Japan instantly, a bunch of lives pro moralism. And when it comes down to it, it prevented a massive amount of conflict. So also negative utility. And I'm just kind of like, maybe us dropping the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, for example, was kind of the most based thing we could have done. Like what, like maybe philosophically speaking, that was the most based thing we could have done. For me, it's like people are constantly being replaced, so the suffering just keeps going. Yeah, I got you. I kind of agree. Yeah. Identity nihilism plus the people are constantly dying and the birth rate's higher than the death rate, so it's just yeesh. you know Good point. But when it comes down to it, we just kind of have to take things with risk assessment and assume that, like, hey, one life matters quite a bit to that person. So assuming that they were an average person, not like a really benevolent person, that their death is good for them, and hopefully it's gonna be a net positive. Not that I'm saying anything like homicidal for this. Yeah, it's giving off those sort of vibes. I'm just trying to say that, like, from poor moralist perspective, that like death is probably a good thing, even for negative utility for the average person, average animal, average sentient being. Uh, Marco, come over here. Come over here, my boy. Like Marco here. Yes, my boy. Yes, come over here. Oh, yes. Like this little adorable guy, if he were to die, it would be like probably good for the world in terms of utility. But at the same time, you're adorable. Yes, you are. So he's gonna remain alive. Utility is like net good, basically. Yeah. In order to like have like utility, you want net good, basically. Utility is like net good, and yeah, basically, yeah, 100% like that. Yeah. Death is necessary for things to be good at all. Imagine if nothing died. Yeah, if nothing died, things would be fucking wild, man. I don't fucking know how the world would just be multiple kinds. Like, we'd have like some fucking dead space, like flush planet going on, bro. How do you measure net good if everything is going to die eventually? Um, well, I basically look at it as I'm like, identity nihilism, so everything's constantly dying. But you kind of like take like a fragment of time, like Zeno. You know how Zeno constantly talks about like the arrow flying through, like the arrow's not actually moving. It's just like fragments of like time and space and stuff like that. You kind of just look at things like in a fragment, like whoop. Marco, come on inside, my boy. Oh no, he wants me to come outside with him. My cat's so adorable. If you basically take everything in a little fragment, which is kind of how denialism kind of is, it's like a fragment, like we only exist for fragments. You could say we don't exist at all based on like certain definitions of denialism, which I am appealed by. I appeal it to them. They're quite nice, but I like where the one where it's just we exist for moments and die. It just sounds so much more like wow, like almost like I love it. So when it comes down to it, if you just take everything in fragments of time, yeah, it's just kind of like the intensity of the pain and on the net whole. So measure net good if everything is going to die eventually. Yeah, to me, it doesn't really matter if things are gonna die. It's just kind of just like looking at utility in a section of time. I hate it. Lol. Looking at utility in a section of time. Yeah, it's just kind of like how much pain is going on in any given moment, like a part of time. Like like this pain going on like a lot now. Is pain going to go on a lot in the future from this based on a probabilistic calculation? Probably, probably not. Should we do that? Basically, like, is this feeling quite good now? Yes, that's quite good. Yes, yes. Is this gonna cause a lot of pain in the future? No. Okay, continue feeling good then. If it's like, yes, probably gonna cause a lot of pain in the future. Is it gonna cause more pain for future self, which is than self right now, which is gonna die in like a mere moment? Probably then maybe avoid that in the future, just because self now it's about to die is just being really selfish and is about to just take the L anyways and doesn't realize it. So that's kind of how I look at like utility, I guess, is I mean, it's just a bunch of dead boys about to take the L and you just kind of have to be like, well, assessment of pain hurty versus good feeling. But when it comes down to it, all that really matters in ethics is the negative. So, I mean, it's just kind of like negative feeling versus relief feeling. Is it utility for individuals or for everyone or for only selections of people? It's for everybody, all sentient life. Um, I kind of run my utility as if my utility barely exists, like essentially, because if I was really caring about my own assessment, I'd just check on out, essentially. But uh so when it comes down to it, I choose more everybody's utility in any given moment over my own utility. But honestly, I'm like we're all driven by psychological hedonism, so it's not like I can really choose to not want to, you know, do whatever I'm doing. But if you die, it might negatively affect the overall utility. I see. Yeah. Basically, it's just a huge calculation at this point. We can't guarantee that me being alive generates any value. I could be generating more pain by just staying alive. So yeah, I hate it. Boo. 100%, my dude. Life is pain. That's why I'm constantly in agony. It's because I don't know if I'm generating enough prevention to make up for the fact that I'm just a miserable fuck who's aware of all this pain, is constantly in pain, and is eating calories that, even though I'm vegan, it still causes some level of death and pain and dying and stuff like that. So it's just like, no matter what, it's going to be exploitation of me on other humans and animals. And it's just like, for what? For what? Like, what am I really doing? Like, what am I really doing? You know? So yeah, it's just like, I can only hope that by preventing one person from coming into the world, assuming that they would have lived a full life, that me continuing my life and preventing one life is the same equivalent to if I were just commit suicide, if not more so, because it like prevents like 20 plus years of them also not existing, plus the remaining of my lifespan. And if I convince a couple more people than that to not have kids, then even better. Then even fucking better, because then it's just like I basically prevented multiple people. I feel that that makes sense, basically. So that's pretty much the only reason I continue living, is just because I feel like if I prevent one or two, if not more, lives from coming into existence, then it's worth it. You know that, and for every person that I prevent from coming into existence is basically like, me committing suicide, but more like in terms of utility. So hence why I think Ethel Blaze should have stayed alive and stuff. But I still like am really empathetic for what Ethel Blaze did, because like honestly he lived in like a really shitty country and they probably would have killed him and stuff. But when it comes down to it, like people like any Ethelist is really valuable to the community. Like any person we can convince not to procreate is like an entire person, like suffering prevented, and like entire one of us like prevented basically. So that's the way I look at it. Say allowing Natalist to torture Amendum, my boy Gary. Oh no, on live stream would guarantee and prevent Natalist 50 people wouldn't have kids. Utility wise, that's something we should allow, right? Um, yeah, I mean, Amendum would probably say the same thing. I mean, as long as we're not torturing him to death, assuming, because Amendum could probably convince more than 50 people, hopefully, in the remaining time of his life, to not be natalists anymore. But assuming that like he would be alive at the end of it and able to do his thing, yeah, probably. I'm sure Gary would be like, yeah, man, like life has been fucking torture for the last 15 years. If you can guarantee me 50 people instantly converted to antinatalism or ethelism like that, fucking torture me on a live stream. Listening to these fucking debates are torture enough as is. So I'm sure that's basically what he'd say, and I'd basically be like, yeah, basically like the same thing. Lol, he would say that. Yeah, so that's pretty much how I look at that question. Is Amendum would basically crack a dark joke, and he would say, "Hell yeah, my dude! I would gladly be tortured to make 50 people, nameless. Sorry, anti-nameless." Listening to you counts as torture. No, yeah, basically, that's what he'd be like. He'd be like, a little bit of bloodshod's nothing in comparison to this horse shit that I have to do. Right, I'm low in the conversation while I go and browse an app for instant gratification. No problem, my dude. I'll just be big chillin' here. I might plug my phone in. Just and leather. No, honestly, like a queen sleigh. Well, it's been 3 hours and 20 minutes. I think I'm gonna close it. I was thinking about closing it 20 minutes ago, but I decided to do a little bit. Yeah, I scroll in, walk my cat for a little bit, just in case some random person would have joined. But nah. Anyways, soft apple. Yeah, I'm off for the night. Nice. Peace, my dude. You take care. Have a good night. Best you can, given that you said you were having not the greatest night when you joined, but have the best night you can given the situation.